I've got two versions of triangle pose for you today. One is more stabilizing, the other is more stretchy. So let's start with the stabilizing one. We're going to take our feet nice and wide apart, just like we usually do for triangle pose, turning one set of toes towards the short end of your mat, the other set in a little bit. Make sure your knees are happy by keeping a slight bend in them. If you work the front of your leg, your quad, against the back of your leg, your hamstring, you'll find that you get a very stable slight bend in your knee. This will also help you stand up tall, strengthen your ankles so you can lift your arches a little bit more. So we're going to keep those knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. And find your pelvis. Hopefully you've got one in there. You're going to bring your hips to level. Stand up nice and tall. And then make a subtle adjustment with your pelvis so that you begin to slide the whole thing, just sliding it over towards your front foot. So this means your back leg is going to be really active. It's going to feel like it has more weight in it. As you slide your hips towards that front foot, you'll also find a lot more stretch going on in your adductors, that inner thigh area. There's a lot more stretch, but there's also a lot more strengthening. You'll also feel strengthening around your gluteus medius and minimus, which is right around through here. So we're going to keep our pelvis moving towards that front foot. Keep it moving towards the front foot and begin to bend. You'll notice you won't bend at the hips quite as much in this particular version. The next one you'll bend a lot. So go just as far as you can, still keeping your pelvis moving towards that front foot. When you've gone as far as you can go, lengthen both sides of your waist. Line your sternum up with the inside line of your leg. Open your arms. Still moving your pelvis towards that front foot. Nice and stabilizing. When you're ready to release, come back up. Relax your arms and your legs, and remember to do the other side. I'm going to show you on my other side the stretchy version of triangle. This one is a little bit tricky if you're a hyperflexible person, because as you take your hips back into the stretchy area, you'll notice that sometimes your thigh bone moves a little bit out of your hip socket. So in that case, if you're a super flexible person, you're going to stick with the first one. If you're really inflexible, this can be very helpful. We're going to do the same thing with our legs, working the back of our leg and the front of our leg against each other. Ground through your feet and point your toes in the same direction as your knees in the same direction as your toes, sorry. That might mean that you're turning your pelvis a little bit more towards your front foot than the side wall. Drop your front hip, lift your back hip. So you're getting a big crease at that front hip. Sharpen that crease as much as you can as you press your back hip towards the back end of your mat. Once you're folded, make sure you're not hyperextending your knees. You want those legs still nice and strong. Lengthen through both sides of your waist and bring your sternum in line with the inside line of your leg. Open your arms. Much stretchier through the back of the hip. Much stretchier through your hamstrings in that front leg. And when you're ready, come back up. Release your arms and bring your feet together. Don't forget to do the other side.